So let's come into a comfortable kneeling or cross-legged position. So if you're kneeling, it's good to have the pelvis raised up so there's not too much pressure on the knees, the shins. If you're cross-legged, try to bring your non-habitual cross. So if you normally have the right leg back further, bring the left leg back further and notice how that feels. The reason I choose the kneeling position is it's symmetrical. There's no preference for the hip, which keeps it less likely to tilt, be lifted on one side. Notice your posture. Make sure the sit bones are grounded left and right. And feel yourself sitting up tall, shoulders roll back, palms face up. Visualize your posture as a beautifully symmetrical volcano. Feel yourself grounded, anchored, wherever you feel the base of the volcano, the base of your body, in contact with your seat. Relax into that seat. And then lift up the central channel. This is the hollow of the volcano where the lava flows upwards. Feel that central axis lift you up. And let the skin relax. Let the outside of the volcano, the slopes of the volcano, be very relaxed. So there's a sinking down, a grounding, a lifting up in the center of the body, and a relaxing on the outside of the body. Feeling this mixture of sweetness and stability. Breathing in through the nose, let each new breath get a little deeper than the previous breath. Each time you breathe in, take in a little more air as if you're drawing the lava up through the central channel, trying to lift a little higher. And as you breathe out, continue to feel the lava coming up in its own accord. So the breath in is effortful, bringing the lava up. The breath out is effortless, a relaxation, but the lava continues to lift up. If you know the Ujjayi breath, the ocean sounding breath, slightly constricting the back of the throat, allow yourself to hear the sound of your own breathing. And notice if you can feel the sensations of the breath as you breathe in against the roof of the mouth. And in tonight's practice, using the breath to remain steady in your poses, be very attentive to notice the sensations you're feeling in the body, and make any adjustments as we go so that your body feels open to relaxation, open to comfort, and open to extending the range of motion of the joints. On the next exhale, hinge forward, remove whatever you're sitting on and come down onto your belly. Stacking the hands under the head. Bring the feet out into Charlie Chaplin feet. Toes point out, heels drape in. And bring the elbows up so that the shoulders feel very relaxed. Let each new breath gradually get deeper. Adding the ujjayi sound, the ocean sounding breath. Notice the sensations on the low back, and when you're ready, prop the elbows underneath the shoulders, close enough so that the hands can reach the upper arms, and bring a block under the head. Relax the shoulders, relax into this variation of Sphinx pose. Let each new breath start to deepen, one breath at a time. Inhale, exhale. Notice how your low back feels in this shape. If at any time it's too intense, come back to crocodile pose. Keep the breath slow and intentionally deep. And then start to push the pelvis into the floor, squeezing the buttocks. Excuse me. And bring the head up and the elbows out wider. Thumbs point straight ahead. Fingers splay out to the side. And then straightening the arms, feel yourself move. I've got a frog in my throat. Feel yourself come into seal pose. Notice the intensity of seal pose. And make sure that seal pose is appropriate. If at any time it feels too much, come back to Sphinx for 3 more breaths. Exhale, gently come down. Stack the hands. Rest the forehead. Walk the knees in closer together and then bend the knees, rotating the feet. Feeling the ankle joints. First one way and then the other. Drop the feet, bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. 2 more breaths. Cat and cow. And then slide the right knee to the right wrist. Bring the right foot underneath you to the left. Walk your left knee back. And lean into the right thigh and leaning into the right side of the body. So the sit bone, the knee, and the right ankle all grounded. Left hand grabs that right foot and gets the shin so that it's parallel to the top of the mat. Keep the back knee bent. Left hand scoops the flesh from the belly, from the right side, into the middle, and then lean forward onto your elbows or your hands, or you can bring your forearms onto blocks. So you want to be resting forward over that front leg, head relaxed. Sometimes what I like to do is bring a block under the head. Feel the breath out without having to take any deeper breathing. Just feel the inhale and the exhale against the thigh here. Activate the hands and start to walk the hands away from the top of the head, creating antlers. You might lower the block or remove the block under the head. If walking out the hands creates too much sensation, walk them back in until you find the Goldilocks spot that's just right. Not too much, not too little. Make sure the head and the neck are very relaxed here. We don't want any tension in the neck in deer pose. Three more breaths here. And then exhale, walking the hands back. Let the hands pick you up. Now bring that right foot back, come onto that right knee and bring your blocks to the top of the mat. Bring the knees together. Step your right foot forward. Walk your left knee back. In dragon pose, use the blocks at the height that most supports you. Walk your back knee back to the point that gives you the appropriate stretch sensation in the left hip flexor. Pad your knee if that left knee is uncomfortable with the pressure against the floor. And of course, if you want to bring the blocks to a lower level at any time over this 3 minutes, you can. And remembering you always have the option, if you like, to come down onto the elbows, if you would like. So just exploring your different options here. Never overdoing it. Always waiting till it feels right before you go to a deeper level. Relaxing the shoulders, the head, as much as you can. So often the groin gets very tight. So just hanging out, waiting, being patient, letting the relaxation occur when the brain and the muscle come together with dialogue through the nervous system. Five more breaths here. And then gently walk the hands back. Bring the knee back. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Cat and cow. And then wide knee child pose. And then come up. This time you might like to bring a blanket to the right side of your mat and bring the right knee out and support the right knee, the right ankle on your blanket, and then come into goalpost arms here. If goalpost arms doesn't work for you, consider stacking the hands under the forehead. Sometimes the tightness in the neck won't allow for this rotation. Sometimes elevating the head with a towel or a blanket might be more comfortable. As you settle into half frog, consider taking your left hand behind your back and resting it in the small of the back. You can tuck the fingers into the waistline of the pants if you like. And as you settle in this position, let each exhale invite your shoulders, particularly the left shoulder, to relax. Relaxing the left shoulder as much as you can in this half bind. Feel the rhythm of the breath begin to slow down. At any time you'd like to explore bringing the right hand back, drift the right hand behind the low back. And now let both shoulders relax. And rather than deepen the breath, try to let each new breath slow down. How gently can you breathe? How slowly can you breathe? Stay conscious of the breath. In other words, notice as you breathe in, can you feel the texture and temperature of the air against the roof of the mouth? And as you breathe out, how much more can you relax your body? How much more can you let go into the relaxation? So this pose giving a lot of opportunity to your body to open, to relax. Five more breaths. On that fifth breath, release the hands and stack the hands back under the head. Keep the right knee out. Drop the chin towards the chest.
And then gently turn the head to the left and feel the right temple on the hand. And then roll the head to the right, feeling the left temple on the hand. We've been in this shape for 5 minutes. You can come out whenever you like. If you'd like to go a little deeper with this opening, prop the elbows underneath the shoulders, like you're in Sphinx pose, and drop the head. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, the head turn to the right. Inhale the head to neutral. Exhale, turn the head to the left. Inhale the head to neutral. Remember, you can come out of this shape whenever you're ready. If you'd like to go a little deeper, bring the hands to the edges of the mat. And then gently straighten the arms into this hybrid between seal pose and half frog. So this should create quite a bit of sensation. Remember, the goal is delicious discomfort, not pain. And then gently relax, come back to the earth, bringing that right knee back to the mat. Crocodile pose. And just notice how that right hip feels. Hands under the shoulders, press up onto all fours, cat and cow. Make sure your blocks are at the top of your mat. Bring the left knee forward. Bring the left foot underneath your right hip. Walk the right knee back a little bit. And then sink onto your left thigh. Lean into your left arm. Having both knees bent. So leaning to that side, making sure the left hip, the left knee, and the left ankle are all stable, feel good. And then, as much as you can, try to bring that left shin up, left hip back until your shin is roughly parallel to the top of the mat. Scoop the flesh from the left side of the belly and then come on down onto your hands or your forearms or onto blocks or a bolster so you can support yourself over that front thigh, leaning in and feeling the sensation in the sciatic area of the buttocks. If you can, let the head come down maybe onto a block. And then be patient, just wait until you feel an invitation. Remembering we have plenty of time here. I'm going to rotate a little more so you can see what I'm doing. And at some point, your hands might want to start to walk out, which can give your head room to come down further, creating stretch sensation through the left thigh, the left buttock, the low back. The arms, the shoulders. Looking for delicious discomfort. Not too much discomfort, but enough to keep you mentally focused on this moment. If we're too comfortable, we tend to go to the future or the past. But if there's just enough discomfort, just enough correct breathing, this brings the mind, holds the mind into this moment. Three more breaths here. Exhale, walk the hands back, let the hands pick you up. And then come on to all fours, blocks at the top of the mat. And then stepping that left foot forward, you can walk that right knee back. Drop the toes of that right foot. And start to position your weight. The more you lean forward, the more you'll feel this in the hip flexor. The more you lean back, the less. So you've got control over the amount of sensation that you feel here. Remembering that at any time you want to lower the blocks, you can. And I felt very tight these last week or so with the legs and the hips, so I'm not down as far as I'd normally like to be, but my body is enjoying the fact that it can be positioned at almost any variation that works. And as much as you can in dragon pose, allow your upper body to relax. Looking for just the right amount of sensation, not too much, not too little, just enough to keep you awake, alert, present, grounded in this moment. Could you bring your attention onto your breathing? If you can, that means you're present. The breath is always present. For 5 more breaths. Use the hands to bring you back. Our little cat and cow here. And then come down onto your belly. The blanket on the left side of the mat. Bringing the left knee and the left ankle onto your mat. Come into goalpost arms. Having the head and neck rotated in the opposite direction from last time. Is this side of the body, excuse me, okay? Is it possible to let the breath slow down? When the breath slows down, it's an indicator that you're in the right position. If you can't slow the breath down, it means something's gone a little too deep, a little too quickly. At any time you'd like to explore bringing the right arm back, tucking the right hand into the waistline of the pants, allowing the right shoulder to sink, relax, go limp. If you're feeling the relaxation, consider bringing the left arm back as well into handcuff position. Both shoulders relaxed. Let go into the relaxation with each exhale. And surrendering into relaxation is opening the range of motion in the joints, the neck, the left hip, the right hip flexor. 3 more breaths here. Releasing the hands and stacking the hands under the forehead. Bring the elbows up a little higher so the shoulders relax. Turn the head to the left. Rest the right temple on the hands. Switch sides. Inhale ahead to neutral. Remembering you can come out of this shape whenever is appropriate to you. You can come a little higher into Sphinx pose. Head can be supported by a block if you like. And then if you'd like to come up a little higher, bring the hands to the edges of the mat. And carefully straighten the arms into more sensation. Always careful that it's appropriate, not overly stretched. Exhale, release, and bringing that left knee back. Come into crocodile pose. Notice how both hips feel now. As you bring the hands under the shoulders, press up onto all fours. Cat and cow. And then wide-kneed child pose. Inhale, tabletop. Come onto your sit bones, bringing your feet to the top of the mat. Come onto your back. And bend the knees. Gently windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And stand the feet on the edges of the mat so the feet are wide apart. As the knees come to the left, reach the right arm over the head and stretch. And then switch. Bring the knees to the right, left arm over the head. and then switch a few sides. Opposite arm reaches to the side the knees are on. The next time the knees come to the left, pause and hold. If the either knee needs support, now would be the time to support it. You could bring a bolster between the knees if you felt that that was helpful. Or you could bring something underneath the bottom knee. Over time, you can move the prop a little further out and let the knees come down lower as your body relaxes. Juggle the position of your head until you find a position for your head that feels totally comfortable. Slow the breathing down. If at any time you're inspired to lift that left foot, the bottom foot, on top of the right knee, and the weight of that left foot pushing the right knee down towards the earth, creating more stress on the outer hip, you can. Adjust the head, the arm, and then be patient and wait. Wait with attention on the breath. Five more breaths here. Remove that top foot. Gently bring the knees back up. Take your time. That's a long lumbar twist. Bring that right hand back and just notice as you bring the knees together, feet apart, how the hips feel, how the low back feels. Use TP pose as a 5 to 10 breath transition. Giving that right leg time to rebound from the twist. And then keeping the feet wide, start to windshield wiper the knees left and right again. Bringing the opposite arm up over the head. The next time the knees come to the right, the left arm up over the head, pause. Focusing on the breath. Support your legs however your legs would appreciate support. Knowing that the support you give them over time may allow you a greater range of motion. Simply by giving them the support at the right time. Sometimes we dive into the shape at the deep end and there's no opportunity for the muscle to relax and deepen naturally. There's a resistance, a muscular reluctance. Juggle the head to the right position that feels good on this side. You can bring the right foot up on top of the left thigh at any time you like, if that's appropriate. And then checking to see if you can slow the breath. And noticing at the end of your exhale, how there might be a little more intensity. Two more breaths here. And then gently release and come into Shavasana. Your Shavasana can be what feels most natural. You might like to have the legs separated or together. You might like to have the thighs supported or unsupported with the bolster. You might prefer to roll to one side and curl up into a little ball. You might prefer to lie on your belly. What is the shape, the position that would most invite you to relax, to let go? Just trusting the choice you make. Let your attention drift back to your breath. On the next inhale, gently bend the knees and stand the feet on your bolster or the mat. Clasp the one or both hands under the back of your head and roll to one side into a fetal pose. And cultivating Shavasana, keeping Shavasana in the body, gently roll forward as you sit up. Find a comfortable seat, cross-legged or otherwise. And letting in the context that you turned up for your practice tonight. You arrived at the mat. We spent this time together, opening the body, healing the body, restoring the body. Acknowledging that with the hands together at the chest in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, folks.